Now on the CTV News at 5, after 4 years behind bars, one of the men convicted in the Coutts border blockade is being released from prison for now. Plus, Alberta's population is on track to surpass British Columbia's. And the relaxing bath that doesn't require water.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. We're glad you could join us. Southern Alberta is no stranger to fluctuating temperatures, but January, it has seen much greater temperature swings than experts predicted. Quinn Keenan has more.
Southern Alberta's weather has been all over the map this January. Early this month, temperatures dipped close to -20 before nearly hitting +20. The past few days have seen similar swings as well.
We did have some tools, some forecasts that did suggest some big variations throughout the month. I don't think we were expecting quite this larger range.
Those big swings have led to an increase of vulnerable people accessing clothing at the Streets Alive mission. The quickly changing temperatures makes it difficult for the city's homeless to hang on to their winter clothes.
I think what you have is you have some people that might be accessing more because they take off a layer and they may take it off and not have it when it gets cold again. So they need to come and access and get that layer back.
Streets Alive has seen a 20% jump in clients accessing clothing this winter. But so far, the community has been up to the challenge.
We are very fortunate that we have the community of Lethbridge, who have always been fantastic to us in regards to donations. We are seeing a steady flow, coming through the door.
The weather appears to be settling into a warm stretch. Daily highs will be above zero for around the next 2 weeks, but more cold is likely on the way.
Kind of meandering around the freezing mark, so you're going to be in a freeze-thaw cycle for a while. The temperatures don't really fall below zero during the day again until maybe the 7th.
Environment and Climate Change Canada is warning Southern Albertans to be cautious of upcoming dry conditions and high fire risk. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
This seems like the perfect time to bring Danielle Savoni in to talk about those warm, dry conditions, Danielle.
We'll start off with dry. In Lethbridge, for example, very dry. We're less than 5% of where we should be moisture-wise so far for this month. So we need the moisture. It's not in the forecast, and the temperatures will continue to be warm. This is a long stretch, as you've just heard, of warm weather with daytime highs above freezing. And there you go. There's those winds of the west that have now organized themselves. Chinook set up here. 72 was the max gust in Pincher Creek, and around that 40 mark for Lethbridge, around that 30 mark for Calgary. And this is what it's done to temperatures. So we're at +5 in Lethbridge and Pincher Creek, and we're getting there. We're at -1 for an air temperature in Medicine Hat, but still a little bit of a wind chill there, feeling more like -5. More details coming up, Jackie.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Now, 2 people have been charged following a drug trafficking investigation in Fort Macleod. Earlier this month, RCMP became aware of possible drug trafficking in Fort Macleod. January 23rd, they executed a search warrant. Police seized 469 grams of cocaine, 53 grams of methamphetamine, 442 oxycodone pills, along with drug paraphernalia. 47-year-old Darcy Pedersen of Fort Macleod and 51-year-old Shannon Calderwood of Pincher Creek face a number of charges. Both were released from custody on several conditions. They'll be back in court February the 11th. Now, one of the men convicted of mischief and firearms violations at the Coutts border blockade is being released from prison. Anthony Olenek was sentenced in 2024 alongside Chris Carbert for their roles in the protests that blocked traffic at the Canada-U.S. border crossing in 2022. Now, RCMP found them in possession of guns, ammunition, and body armor stashed inside trailers. They were each sentenced to 6.5 years. Olenek's lawyer told the Canadian Press his conviction appeal has been argued and is on reserve, and he is released until the sentencing hearing is decided. Olenek has been in jail since he was arrested in February of 2022. Carbert was freed on bail pending the results of his appeal last June. Jury selection in a landmark U.S. trial today involving several social media giants. The platforms are accused of deliberately addicting and harming teens. It's happening as France today went the way of Australia, introducing a law restricting social media access to the young. CTV's Abigail Beeman looks into enforcement and whether Canada plans to go the same route.
France's National Assembly votes in favor of a social media ban for children under 15. The president wants the ban in place by the next school year, posting, "Because our children's brains are not for sale." While in LA, a landmark series of trials begins with parents, teens, and school districts taking social media giants to court over addiction claims. Snapchat and TikTok reportedly settled in advance, leaving Meta, Facebook and Instagram's parent company, and YouTube.
We haven't landed on anything yet.
In Canada, the government is planning new online harm legislation after the last bill died with the Trudeau government, but no update on when or whether it will include a similar ban to France and Australia.
The objective of a new online harms act would be to protect kids, first and foremost. And also there's legitimate concern of the state protecting freedom of expression, and that is also key. So there's a balancing act.
It can be used as a very vicious tool to harass, bully, stalk, defame, hurt people.
Lawyer Ma'anit Zemel's office gets at least a call a day looking for help. She's calling for nuanced regulations that are enforceable and tailored to specific harms like cyberbullying or overuse, saying a full-out ban is not the answer.
The kids just get around it by using, whether it's VPNs or just saying they're older. And, from a legal perspective here, it might be challenged for all kinds of reasons.
CTV News reached out to Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and Meta. By deadline, only Meta responded, saying they'll comply with any regulations, but governments considering bans should be careful not to push teens towards unregulated, less safe sites. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Corblend's petition against coal mining in the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains has been approved. Alberta's chief electoral officer says Lund's application meets the legislative requirements. The Alberta musician needs to appoint a chief financial officer. Following that, Elections Alberta will lay out how many signatures need to be collected along with the deadline. A researcher at Lethbridge Polytechnic is developing software tools to help irrigators make better informed decisions about when and how much to water their crops. Michael Kehoe is currently working on a project focused on optimizing irrigation timing and water amounts using field sensor data and forecasting models. He says the goal of the project is to use that data and develop software tools for producers that show not just what's happening now, but confidently show what's likely to happen over the next few days and how much water to allocate for them. With summers continuing to be hot and dry, Kehoe says now is the time to help irrigators accurately plan and distribute water.
Southern Alberta depends on irrigation. Like the economy here it's not just the farmers and irrigators, it's everyone. We all depend on that water, and this region would be a lot different without it. So overall I'd say it's very important, and our small role in that is sort of trying to help farmers and irrigators with which decisions they should make surrounding technology.
So far, his research has included comparing overhead pivots to subsurface drip irrigation systems, revealing similar crop water use but greater efficiency in the subsurface drip system. The city of Lethbridge is getting ready to host its community conversation on Thursday. More than 40 projects will be on display, and representatives from a number of city departments are available to chat with at the event. Information on snow plowing, transportation planning, and transit will be some of the programs and services there. There will also be free public skating, prize draws, and giveaways. The city says the event has become a staple to connecting with the community.
So at the starting stage of a project, it's really important, if that's a project that's important to you, or even if it's just something you're interested in, to give that feedback and ensure that the city hears your voice, as it is part of one level of decision making that the city makes.
The free event runs Thursday afternoon from 3 until 7 at the visitlethbridge.com arena. Alberta's population could surpass British Columbia's in the next 25 years to become the third largest province in the country. That's according to new projections from Statistics Canada today. Under a medium growth range, the agency estimates the Canadian population could top 57 million by the year 2075. Higher growth provinces like Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba are likely to see their demographic weight in the country increase. Canadian consumers will soon notice a change in some of their loyalty rewards programs. Canadian consumers As we said, their programs are changing. BMO says the new program will be integrated into the bank's existing banking app and website. If you have an Air Miles card, you can continue to use it, and your points will automatically be converted into Blue points this summer. Meantime, Shell Canada is ditching Air Miles and joining the Scene Plus loyalty program. It will roll out in Alberta in March. We are back after this break with the 5-day forecast. We also look at one of the hottest new trends in relaxation, sound bathing.
Here is your sky cam from about an hour ago, facing west, some decent amount of cloud cover. We're looking at really quiet weather, a little on the breezy side as we head through these next couple of days, but this Chinook is really going to set itself up, already started, and this is here for the rest of the week, and not looking at a whole lot of active weather in the far south at all. Now, we did have gusts around that 70 mark in the Pincher Creek area. That's where it maxed out today, and 41 in Lethbridge. We can expect similar conditions for tomorrow as well with regards to the wind, maybe a little tamer in Pincher Creek, down to 60 for tomorrow. All right, but this is what it's doing to temperature. So that warm air is already moving its way in. So 5 degrees in Lethbridge, 1 in Claresholm, 4 in Pincher Creek. And it hasn't quite made its way all the way to the Medicine Hat area, but it's still warmer than usual, and -1 with a wind chill of -5. We won't be quite as warm in Medicine Hat tomorrow, but I'll show you that in just a moment here. All right, we do have some cloud cover that will be rolling in for tomorrow. There is a system off to the west, and it will bring in some very isolated, very light precipitation. Very, very light and very isolated. I'm going to show you on the futurecast here. So tomorrow you'll see the clouds roll into the far south especially. There may be some sunny breaks, but don't expect a lot of sunshine out there for tomorrow. And then there will be little pop-up pockets. Now, for the most part, we're going to see that down QE2 and potentially Highway 2 in the morning hours. And then that shifts later in the day by about 3 p.m. to the Medicine Hat area. Now, when we get it closer to Highway 2 earlier in the day, and because these areas will be above the freezing mark, it would be a couple raindrops if you saw it at all, because it will be so isolated. But by the time it shifts over to Medicine Hat, it will be a little windy. And we're also looking at snowflakes with this, because temperatures will be just below the freezing mark. And that's why we'll see some snow. It may even reduce visibility in some isolated spots, but this is nothing significant, no accumulation, and it will be very short-lived. After that, it's pretty quiet, not a whole lot to talk about, and the sun will be making its return on Thursday. All right, for East Kootenay area, -1 tomorrow is a high. In the morning, though, with the wind chill, it will feel like -7. So a chilly start to the day, but getting up to -1 with a mix of sun and cloud. Crow's Nest Pass, gusts 60 kilometers per hour for the evening. It should quiet down for the overnight hours, and then gusts up to 60 for tomorrow, and later in the day and tomorrow evening, gusting up to 70. Then you're looking at a high of 3 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Medicine Hat, again, -15 tonight. Fog patches carrying into tomorrow morning, and then by 3 in the afternoon, you get into the chance of a few flurries. Your daytime high looks about -3 for tomorrow. And for Lethbridge, check this out. This is quite a long-range forecast for the end of January. 3 degrees for tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud, very small chance of any sort of isolated snowflakes or raindrops, 40 to 60 kilometer per hour gusts. Then we get up to 8 and 9 degrees for Thursday and Friday.
Relaxation technique is helping some people stay grounded. It's a form of bathing, but there is no water involved. CTV's Connor Hogg explains.
We live in a society of people that are perpetually living on fumes. And I think, we can do that short term, but long term, it's just not feasible.
Desiree Van Domslaar says that between business clients and family, she needed something to help her take a break from the stresses of daily life.
Beginning to tune into that aspect of yourself that senses and feels.
She found sound bathing, no water involved, with an immersion into a soundscape created by former jazz pianist Marcus Fung.
It was so complex and so many notes, and there were so many things and music became stressful for me, and I kind of had my own personal recovery by playing the singing bowls, which was like, I'm just playing one note and it's gonna play for 3 minutes.
Fung's interest in sound bathing grew from there, incorporating more notes, as well as different kinds of singing bowls, in addition to rain sticks, ocean drums, and a gong.
Brings me into this way better place that's just so much more grounded and centered.
Fung says his job is similar to a DJ's, balancing different tones together to create the desired effect.
Sound at the most intimate or kind of innate and primal level.
This actually allows me to just forget about everything, you know, relax completely, and then therefore my whole body gets to enjoy just the frequency and vibration that makes me feel better.
Fung says the experiences of the participants, whether they're anxious, happy, frustrated, or grateful, factor into his responses as he picks which notes to play.
People refer to it as like a reset. That makes sense.
Just a bunch of people laying down with blankets and pillows.
A break from the world of clicking and swiping for something a little more restful.
Well, we're going to close our session today.
Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Well, could the way you drive predict Alzheimer's disease years before the first sign of memory loss? University of Calgary researchers say yes. They've developed a new route complexity metric. It tracks a digital fingerprint of how we navigate while behind the wheel using a sensor that's installed on your windshield. The study found drivers with early stage Alzheimer's often shift to simpler, more direct routes.
Driving is very complicated. You might not think about it that way, but it involves a lot of different systems in our body. So it involves function, it involves memory, it involves decision making and planning. So we thought looking at driving as a real-world behavior can give us a window into brain health.
Researchers hope this data will eventually complement clinical tests, allowing for earlier interventions. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. Canada's best curlers are preparing for the Olympics. We catch up with them next. The Medicine Hat Tigers are looking to bounce back tonight after suffering back-to-back losses. The Saskatoon Blades are making the trek down to Co-op Place. Tigers are looking for revenge after falling to the Blades 3-2 on Friday. Medicine Hat still holds a 2-1 advantage in the season series. Puck drop tonight is at 7 o'clock. There is anger in Italy after the U.S. revealed it will send ICE agents to the Winter Olympics. An Italian opposition party protested today after reports that ICE agents will be part of the American security team. Milan's Mayor Salas says ICE is not welcome in Milan and called the group a, quote, militia that kills. Meanwhile, Canada's men's Olympic curling team will be on their way to Italy very soon. Here's Glenn Campbell with that story.
Have you got this now? Oh, come on. Have you got this? Oh, and he moved it.
The Canadian men's curling team brings a wealth of Olympic experience into the Winter Games. Skip Brad Jacobs won the gold medal at the 2014 Games in Sochi, and he's confident about this group heading into Milano Cortina.
Yeah, I'm just excited to get going with the guys. There's absolutely 0 point in looking too far ahead. It's all about being present, staying in the moment, and you know, the cliche thing is making one shot at a time. And I know that this team is capable of stringing together all of the shots needed to win an Olympic gold medal.
Vice skip Mark Kennedy has 2 Olympic medals. He won gold with Ben Hebert at the 2014 Games in Vancouver and also won bronze with second Brett Gallant at the last Winter Olympic Games in Beijing. He says these games will be a little different because athletes from different sports will be so spread out. But that may be an advantage for the veteran Canadian rink.
Having been there before, I think we're okay with knowing we're a little bit separated from everybody and that we just have a job to do, and that's to go and compete and play well and, you know, really focus more on the curling as opposed to all the other distractions that come within Olympic Games.
This will be Hebert's 3rd Winter Olympics, and the 42-year-old knows there's a chance it may be his last.
So, you know, we've been around a long time, a lot of veteran leadership on this team, and, you know, played in every event, seems like 100 times, except for this one, right? Only the 3rd time for us. So, you know, don't take it for granted. Really excited. And there's not too many things that, you know, get the old butterflies and nerves going these days for me in curling, but this is one of them. And yeah, really stoked to go with the guys.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
As the Winter Olympics get closer, Italy is also hosting the 2026 World Ice Art Championship. 24 sculptors from 16 countries appeared in the finals near Milan. This festival is meant to be a nod to the famous Harbin Ice Festival in northern China. And the top contestants at this one will be invited to Harbin next year. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, the surprising attention a dog stick collection is getting. Guess is a little dog in Vancouver with a passion for big sticks. The pup's collection is getting some attention online while also inspiring her owner in an unexpectedly creative way. CTV's Adam Swatsky reports.
This is a story about a dog named Guess and the definite potential of a stick.
Quite early on, we found out she has a propensity to lift very large sticks.
So, like many proud parents, Carrie Walker captured Guess's accomplishments on video.
Just thought it was really impressive, her strength and determination.
And so many other people said they were inspired to see the little dog pursuing her big dreams that Carrie began posting Guess with Sticks videos on social media.
I think it's just a laugh, a little nugget of joy.
And that could have been the end of it. Until the sticks that Guess deposited at the end of the driveway after every walk grew into an impressive pile. And Carrie, who is a professional artist, found herself feeling unexpectedly inspired.
It was a big part of my life and just thought, I'm going to draw one. But then I think also it was like, oh, that's so stupid, such a dumb idea.
Because serious artists don't do silly things like draw dog sticks, Carrie thought, before considering how Guess, even when she doesn't succeed in picking up a stick, never fails to try.
Yeah, I took my cue from Guess.
Carrie started by capturing the general texture of a stick.
Found them really beautiful.
Before documenting every specific detail.
Sort of just like traveling through this world that's contained in the stick.
And by the time she'd completed almost a dozen life-size stick drawings, Carrie was invited to exhibit them at a very real art gallery to display her little dog's big inspiration.
She's not questioning her impulse. Her impulse is you pick up a stick and you take it home. You're following your impulse, I'll follow my impulse.
And now that her drawings are being displayed with the actual sticks that inspired them, the idea no longer seems so silly. Because during these often troubling times, what could be more serious than simply striving to make people smile?
It's like a moral responsibility to share that joy with people if you can.
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Vancouver.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.